Hello students, welcome back to one more video lecture of directing chapter. Today here we will discuss the second element of the directing, that is leadership. Now tell me one thing, what do you remember? Yeah, what are the things that reminded to you whenever you talk about or you think about India winning the World Cup, India winning the World Cup T20? No doubt, it's the name of our then captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Why this name alarms or rings a bell into your mind? We always say that we won the World Cup in the captaincy of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. It means that whenever we hear the success story of any team, any organization, we are immediately reminded of their leaders, of their captains. So you can imagine how much the concept leadership or leader is important to any of the team, any of the organization, any of the group. Now let's discuss the leadership and leaders in details. Leadership. It is the process of influencing the behavior of people by making them strive voluntarily towards achievement of organizational goals. Leadership also indicates the ability of an individual to maintain good interpersonal relations with followers and motivate them to contribute for achieving organizational objectives. Is it clear? It means that leadership will good leadership will influence the behavior of the people, means the behavior of their subordinates. It will motivate them in such a way that voluntarily, means by themselves, they will work towards the achievement of the organizational goal. And leadership also, it is an inbuilt ability of any person who can maintain good interpersonal relationship, means he can bring harmony and coordination among the followers, and he or she is able to motivate them to contribute, to work hard, to strive to achieve the organizational objective. The definition that just we have seen about the leadership reveals the following important features of leadership that you can see in the slide. They are indicates ability of an individual to influence others, tries to bring change in the behavior of others. It means leaders can easily change the behavior, the thinking process of any person. It indicates interpersonal relations between leaders and followers. It is exercised to achieve common goals of the organization, and it is a continuous process. Hope you understood all these 6 points, sorry, 5 points. Okay, means once you have motivated your followers or your subordinates, you cannot stop motivating them anymore. Leadership has to be done continuously, so that people will work according to your desire. Clear? When there is a discussion of leadership, no doubt we will talk about the leader, because the term leader emerges from leadership. So leader is an individual possessing all the attributes of leadership. Okay, they must be possessing some factors like their skills, knowledge, commitment, willingness to cooperate, having team spirit. These factors and many more, they help, or we can say they make a person an effective leader. It is always said that followers make a person a good leader by acceptance or by accepting their leadership. So we can say that not only the leader but their followers also play key role in leadership process. But leader must possess something different from others to lead others. Now coming to leadership style. What is leadership style? Basically, it refers to a leader's behavior, behavior pattern which the leader reflects in his role as a leader is can be described as the style of leadership. Okay, so it depends, means the leadership styles depends upon the type of the followers and the atmosphere prevailing in the organization. Clear? There are several bases of classifying leadership styles, but the most popular classification of leadership style is based on the use of authority. Depending on the use of authority, there are three basic styles of leadership that you can see. It is autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire. One more diagrammatic representation of leadership styles that you can see. Let's discuss one by one in detail. The first one is autocratic or authoritarian type of leadership or leaders. An autocratic leader gives orders and expects his subordinates to obey those orders. If a manager is following this style, then communication is only one way, with the subordinates only acting according to the command given by the managers. It means that autocratic leader exercises complete control over the subordinates. The leader is dogmatic, does not change or wish to be contradicted, means he doesn't want his subordinates to contradict or to say anything against his or her wish. Based on the assumption that reward or punishment both can be given depending upon the result. This is the best part. Positive part of the autocratic means he is not biased or prejudiced against the subordinates. So this is effective in getting productivity in many situations, because subordinates are being asked to follow the rule or the order of the seniors only. And one more best part or positive part is the quick decision making is also facilitated, because they have to only listen to their seniors, to their managers. They cannot discuss, they cannot come out with their own ideas. Okay, so one more aspect of this autocratic leadership is that sometimes variation also exists. They may listen to everyone's opinion, consider subordinates' idea and concerns, but the decision will be their own. Means here they want complete centralization in the organizational structure. In such cases, initiative principles is not being followed in the organization. Now the next one is the democratic or participative leader. A democratic leader develops action plans and makes decisions in consultation with his subordinates. He encourages them to participate in the decision making, and this style, means democratic or participative style, is more common nowadays since things have been changed, business environment has been changed. So leaders now, they have recognized, now they have come to know that people will perform best if they have set their own objectives. Clear? And now, as the name itself suggests, that democratic means there is a sort of democracy. Democracy means the organization is for the employees, of the employees, and by the employees. Again, one more name is participative, means subordinates or the juniors are allowed to participate in taking decision, in taking or in formulating the plans. In this style, the managers respect the subordinates' opinion and support subordinates to perform their duties and accomplish organizational objectives. They are not like autocratic leaders. They respect, they give value to their subordinates. They exercise more control by using forces within the group. Means they are not a leader having whip in their hand, but they want a complete coordination and harmony, and they know that with harmony and coordination they can achieve the goal very easily. It is a group centered leadership. Now the third and last one, laissez-faire or free rein leadership or free rein leaders. Such type of leaders does not believe in the use of power unless it is absolutely essential. So as the name again it suggests, means subordinates are given free hand to exercise their duties or exercise their job. Just see, the followers are given a high degree of independence or freedom to formulate their own objectives and the ways how to act, how to achieve them. There is no interference in the activities of subordinates, but the manager is there only to support them and to supply them the required information to complete the task assigned. And at the same time, the subordinates or the juniors also take responsibility for the work to be performed. Otherwise, in the free rein leadership style, no work will be performed in the organization. Now, which style has to be or have to be adopted? It depends on the situation. So, depending on the situation, a leader may choose to exercise a combination of these styles when required. Even a laissez-faire leader would have certain rules to be followed while doing work, means he can also become autocratic. A democratic leader may have to take his own decision in an emergency situation. So every time you cannot rely upon the one style of leadership. A manager, they can choose, they can mix and match the type of leadership depending upon the prevailing situation in the organization. So finally we have come to the end of this topic, leadership. Here you studied about the leadership, what is its definition, how the word leader emerges from the word leadership, and what are the characteristic traits of a leader, how a leader can make the difference in any of the organization, and the types of the leadership styles. There were three types, autocratic, democratic and laissez-faire. And these three types of leadership differs from each other, but a manager can use any combination of any two types of leadership styles to achieve the organizational goal. Hope you understood the things that were discussed in this video. Once again, watch the video properly and make the relevant notes, taking help of your NCERT book as well as the video. I will see you in my next video lecture of the next element of directing, that is communication. Thank you.